This video is gonna be a bit of me rambling about, and it might sound somewhat incoherent. What I want you, the viewer, to take from this video is the importance of balance in your life and endeavors. Why is it that when people say they want to improve themselves, they go completely overboard, going from 0 to 100 in a matter of weeks and expect it to be a healthy way of doing stuff? I have witnessed this within myself when I started to better myself. I went full in, only to end up kind of burnt out at the end, which actually resulted in me being constantly stressed out, perpetually tired, and just overall unhappy with myself. Not a good thing. And I can't help but imagine there are so many other people out there who are on a self-improvement journey, going full in, only to end up like I did, constantly stressed out, perpetually tired, and just overall unhappy with themselves. But according to philosopher and psychologist Andrew Tate, happiness shouldn't be part of the equation for man. So there's that. And yes, I know I'm paraphrasing. The only thing that counts, if you're on a #Sigma grind set, trying to escape the matrix and are a man, and my analysis of these self-improvement gurus is correct. Success is defined by how much money you make, how big your muscles are, your body fat percentage, and the amount of women you have slept with. So at the end, you have escaped the matrix, but are still addicted to its fruits. Well done. Success is, however, not in any sense defined by the quality of your relationships and your friendships. It is not defined by whether you feel like you're doing a good job overall, or if you're just happy with how life turns out, or the direction it is taking. You can't be happy. You always have to be better, at least according to these gurus, who, by the way, also advertise their expensive diet plans and workout routines after telling you you're not good enough. And as a result, you constantly feel pressured to incorporate new stuff into your workout routines, your diet, your side hustle, all that. But the risk of losing friends, of mental issues like body dysmorphia, just the overall loss of excitement and spontaneity always looms over you and will eventually grab you if you are not cautious. Especially that last bit about excitement and spontaneity is something I wanted to talk about today. I recently went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole and ended up on a page about the concept of the Apollonian and Dionysian by Friedrich Nietzsche, the very misinterpreted and misunderstood German philosopher loved by edgy teens all around the world. Of course, I got completely obsessed by this concept because that's how my brain works. First off, Approximately 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, and it would help me quite a lot if you did. Let's see if we can get to 50 subscribers by the end of July. Also, please leave a comment because I am genuinely interested in your thoughts about what I'm going to say, and leave a like if you like this video. I think part of the struggle people have is navigating through their new lives and finding balance once they have embarked on a journey of personal growth. All of a sudden, they get a gym subscription, schedule their day, including their sleep, and watch their nutrition meticulously. And while I applaud all that, and I'm all for people finding ways to live healthier and more fulfilling lives, I'd also like to warn against the rigidness of it all. If personal growth is not done carefully, life becomes a rut. That's where the concepts of the Apollonian and Dionysian come into play. Nietzsche wrote about the dichotomy between the two in his book The Birth of Tragedy from 1872. Originally applied to music, Nietzsche wondered if they are also applicable to life and are perhaps in fact inherent to the human experience. Like the god Apollo, the Apollonian represents structure, order, logical thought, rigidness, rules, whereas the Dionysian, like the god Dionysus, represents chaos, emotion, passion, and pleasure. Now, imagine a musical piece, only consisting of rhythm, but no melody. Do you think that would be a good musical piece? I wouldn't think so. A good musical piece, in my estimation, is an interplay between structural, orderly rhythm on one hand and passionate, chaotic melody on the other. That is what makes a musical piece a good musical piece. Without both structure and expression, a piece of music may lack depth or resonance with its listeners. However, an overabundance of either can lead to monotony or confusion. While this concept originally applied to music, Nietzsche believed it could also apply to life, and that if both the Apollonian and Dionysian are balanced, one has achieved true self-mastery. One way Nietzsche described this could be managed to be done is by engaging in creative endeavors like creating art, or by simply making choices about how one wants to live their life. So, on one hand, we have the rigid order of the grind, with its schedules, routines, and predictability. On the other, we have being aloof, characterized by spontaneity, emotion, and unpredictability. And both are essential to life. And I say this because I have seen videos in the past telling people they should drop their friends or never go to a party or even think about dating someone because those are all distractions from the grind. And I wanted to note something here because I have seen people talking about dating and love as if it's inherently transactional, a way of thinking I kind of find tragic and sad. So, never party, never let loose, only focus on the grind. Great, and then what? Let's say you succeed, and you have followed all of the advice, and you've seen and read about. Now, there is a big chance, and I'm not saying this is happening, but there is a big chance that now you're lonely, lost all your social skills because you haven't been to a party or even a gathering for the past few years, and you haven't found a partner, for you have never been on a date with someone because you didn't feel worthy of a partner, because that is what you have been told, and I am mostly addressing the men here. I am not saying you should not focus on whatever your path of personal growth is, and that you should be dropping it completely. I am not saying you should go to parties or date if you don't feel ready or just don't feel like it. What I am saying is that much of the advice I have seen on the internet actually can be quite harmful to both your mental and physical health, because it doesn't bring the other half of the equation into consideration. And I also think it has something to do with the whole being stoic trend I see popping up very much recently. Stoicism is heavily misinterpreted, as if emotion is something that should be suppressed. While Stoics didn't think that emotions should be suppressed, they thought that emotions are something that should be acted upon responsibly and reasonably. So, when, for example, you feel anger, you don't lash out but stay calm and collected. You accept the emotion, examine it, and only then act upon it. The other part of the equation I was talking about earlier is that you are an emotional being, that being creative and aloof is part of the human experience, that making mistakes is an integral part of being human, and that having fun is not necessarily shallow or hedonistic. Another philosophical concept heavily misunderstood. In short, hedonism says that one should strive for pleasure and avoid pain. That's the concept. And while I believe there is potential for growth in pain, there is also a huge potential for injury. And something that is pleasurable doesn't equate to something inherently shallow necessarily, like reading a good book or spending quality time with loved ones. What I am trying to say is that both the Apollonian and the Dionysian, both order and chaos, both the creative and imitative, are integral parts of being human, and they are two sides of the same coin. And this is found throughout culture. Think of yin and yang, the story of the fight between Horus and Seth, or art in general. The best art is an interplay between the Apollo Dionysus dichotomy. The most popular board games, for example, have an element of chaos represented by the dice, and order represented by the rules that players are expected to adhere to. Now, what makes you think that you only get to pick one of the two? Not incorporating either side will result in you either being an unguided projectile, not having any sense of direction, or it will result in you becoming a stuck-up square and honestly unbearable as a person. So there's that. Most of this is just a train of thought and mostly a message to myself, which I thought would also help you. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, and tap the notification bell. Talk to y'all later.